Come on in. Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, I did the quick check this morning. Don't judge me. Shows are starting here in just under a minute. Just under a minute. So if you're watching a replay, just kind of scoot forward a few seconds if you want to get right to it. All right, stand by, folks. Time to rock and roll. The Rocci Stucci Show. Let's go. Come on. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this main event. I am the emotional meatball, Rocci Stucci. It's Thursday, day after hump day. You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. We got some things to do. Little funkity funk for this morning start. We got some fun going on the Rocci Stucci Show. I didn't realize my volume was so high. Good morning, each and every one of you. It is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this Thursday morning, January 16th. The Rocci Stucci Show, coming in loud, coming in large. Man, we're going to be talking about some shit. You know what I mean? Here we go, folks. Hey, by the way, visit the website. Every single day with my website, it seems like I always have. Oh, I was going to do something earlier. There's one thing I needed to. Oh, right here. I just need to take my gain down just a hair. It seems like, when you run a website like Stucci Media isn't just my podcast site. It's a site for everything, right? And, so you have to stack a lot of things. It's a WordPress site. Sometimes it drives me crazy, man. Sometimes it drives me crazy. I was sitting there, I was going to pull up an article that I wanted to talk about that was posted this morning, and for some reason, it's just not there yet. So I would go in and I try to update the catch and do all that other kind of stuff. It's just being difficult. Probably by the time I get done here, we'll probably be okay. As a matter of fact, let me do this so I don't look so generic there. That's how my morning starts. Then I look at the clock and I got 20 minutes until showtime. And I know I actually don't have my ear to the phone, but I answered my phone right now. I can't hear what he's saying, but I just want to let him know that I'm live right now on the show. And I will call you back right after the show, my brother. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. That's how we do it. We answer your phone while we're live on the air. So, StucciMedia.com. Love you guys. And make sure, MyPillow.com. Go to MyPillow.com. Use the code word meatball. Meatball. Use the code word meatball and get some really badass deals, man. MyPillow.com, or just go to IWantMyPillow.com. So, good morning. Oh, here's a question I do have for people. Where is it? As a matter of fact, let me find it. Do you guys remember, We Are the World? Come on! We are the children. Remember that song? That was cool, right? That was cool. It's embedded. It's a big memory for me, right? It's a big memory. What's the biggest memory about that song that you guys have? It's a serious question. Now we're going to go somewhere here. What is it? Good. Deb, what's going on today? Oh my goodness. Oh my. That's a typo, Deb. So I just want to address this typo that I'm reading right now, right? I'm gonna read it again. What the hell am I reading here? Okay, it says today is number 38. Wedding anniversary. You've been married 38 years? What? I don't get the number 38 part. I'm confused. Help me out with that. If you have been married for 38 years, damn girl, congratulations. Happy anniversary. Irregardless. She said, yep. That was her answer. It was yep. It wasn't yes. It was yep. Yep. Well, damn. 38 years. Congratulations to you and Mr. Deb Treadway. Oh, I didn't call him Deb. Mr. Treadway. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, man. 38 years. That's actually a whole hour's worth of show material, really, if we want to talk about marriage and the meaning of marriage and and the representation of marriage and holy shit, we've all had our battles. I've had them, no doubt about that. But the secrets always seem so simple at the end of the day when we hear those interviews from people that are 70 years old or 80 years old and they've been married, forever for like 38 years. I mean, Deb, you're pushing 50. 12 more years, girl, you're going to be married for a half a fucking century. Whew, hold on. I need a minute. Where's my duck? It got stolen. The duck got stolen, for the record. As long as you're here, Deb, I'm telling you now. I know, Shane. I was just trying to be funny by calling him Mr. Deb Treadway because us dudes, it probably kind of irritated him a little bit. Because if somebody called me Mr. Lisa Mitchell, I'll probably slap the shit out of him. Congratulations to Deb and Shane for 38 years of marriage. And damn, so when we hit 50, let's have a big party. You know what I mean? Let's have a big party. I've been together with Lisa for 25. We've been married for 23, right? Dudes, don't even talk about this shit publicly. Don't even talk about this shit publicly. Right into a guy who was 89 at the store, and he was, yeah, that makes sense. He was married for 70 years. So the guy was 89 years old. He got married at 19 years old. Back in those days, that was just the way it was. It wasn't about the education. It was about work. It was about, okay, you get your education, up until whatever, until you can read a book. I don't even know if there's really a standard back in those days on the educational system, but then you go work on the family farm. You are your own resource. Your government is you, kind of, I guess, not technically, but you know what I'm saying when I say that. When you own your own sources of food and power, you're less dependent on certain things. And so it would be amazing to hear the stories. And again, you'd go talk to this gentleman and you'd be like, what's the secret, dude? Because we're expecting some like Einstein formula, man, because we're sitting here trying to figure shit out. Only to realize that probably 80% of the shit that we lose our shit over is just nonsense, right? And I'm not trying to, the reason I chose that word carefully is because it'll seem like nonsense when more important things arise, but at that time, it's very important to you. And irregardless of what I think of the importance of anybody's situation, if it's important to you, that's all that matters, right? I know there's a lot of things right now that I deal with personally that are nonsense. I'm angry over things that I should just walk away from. It's technically nonsense, right? And so as humans, we have this hard thing. It's ego. It is ego. It's we all have a certain standard of respect that we demand. Some people, their standard is 0. That's great. Good for you. Have a good life. Mine is about 150%. That's standard. And so that's where, and that could be a character flaw. It absolutely could be a character flaw because it's probably caused more issues in my life than not. And that's just my ego saying, you're going to respect me. You don't have to like me, but you will 100% respect me. And it seems like the people that hold the most peace in their heart are the ones that don't even address that energetically at all. And I'm conflicted with that, because then there's my personal belief in why aren't you addressing that? Why are you allowing that, right? And I'm angry over it. And he's over there, he's all good, talking to a tree, taking pictures of flowers. That's probably why I do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? I take pictures of flowers to find peace in my soul. We all need a little peace in the soul, So congratulations, man. That's really, it kind of threw me off. You triggered my ADHD right away in the morning, Deb. But you know what? Deb has been a phenomenal supporter of this program. She's a dear friend. Through some of my biggest struggles in life, she was making sure my family and I were okay. I wasn't the best at returning a message. I'm not. I've been terrible. My mom's even mad at me. It's everybody thinks it's them. It's not. It's me. I suck at. I hate phones. But Deb and so many people, Linda, Becker, so many people that have been part of this family. It's not a show, man. I always try to pretend it's a show. I call it a show, and I try to pretend it is sometimes. And sometimes I try to actually follow a format, and it never works. It's kind of like a survival group. You know, we've all just kind of been through some shit. We'd all just kind of come here and hang out, and I lose my shit sometimes. And sometimes I cry, and sometimes I don't. You know what I mean? Fighting the Korean War, had 5 brothers who fought in World War II. Amazing man. Hero, actually, his whole family. World War II. I was talking to, and let's go back to that mentality of that era. We're working on getting Don Graves back on for an interview. If you guys remember, I interviewed Don Graves when I was doing the Battle Scars. And Don Graves was a World War II veteran. And Don Graves, he was actually up on the Iwo Jima. I said that wrong my whole life. I can't remember how, Iwo Jima, I think I used to say it like that. But Iwo Jima, Iwo Jima, Iwo Jima, Iwo Jima, Iwo Jima, yeah. I don't know what just happened, but he was on there, and he was there for both flag rising, right? And it was fascinating, right? You're literally talking to history, real history that can't be altered because he was still physically there. But what I found the most fascinating in regards to interviewing him was how he grew up back in those days as a child, you know, when he was 12 years old, 13 years old, and how their clothing, there would be a certain, because they didn't have multiple pairs of pants. They didn't have multiple dresses, you know, like we idolize shoes and we idolize all those things. You know, I look at my closet, I got like 20 pairs of shoes. Back in those days, you told that to somebody and they would think you're nuts because the value was different towards what they wanted, right? It wasn't the games, it wasn't the shoes, it wasn't the clothes. It was work. It was building, it was manufacturing, life was different. So perception is different. And then we create the reality around that perception. And then as we technologically progress, we just slowly incorporate things. And it's that boiling, you know, it's the boiling frog effect. We don't even realize the advancement that we make sometimes until we actually look back. Like, here's an example. We sit here and look at all the games that we're playing. These remotes, they got like 20 buttons. 20 buttons, right? Ain't working for me. I can't even get past, what is that, Call of Duty? I can't get past the practice round. I can't even get past the practice round. I can't figure out all the buttons at the same time. That's why I just want to be a good helicopter pilot, you know? But what ages me and what gives us the realization of how we've advanced without even really realizing it, we just think things are cool as they come in. But look at the Atari. You know, look at the old VHS. And then there's Beta before that. Then there's 8-track before that, video. So you go to somebody like my dad and you look at the things that he appreciated as a kid, like the telephone and how the telephone has evolved. And you talk to these younger kids now and you tell them that, yeah, we had a cordless phone. It wasn't a cell phone. We had a cordless phone. That means that we could walk around our house without a cord on that son of a bitch. That was cool. That was cool because we always had to go buy the 30-foot cord so we could go in our little hiding spot for our 3 calls a day for 10 minutes because that was what we got. And I'm sure a lot of you listening to me know right now that you all had phone rules. There are a certain amount of times a day you could be on that bastard, right? And there was a certain call limit. And then sometimes if you're a little shit, they would make sure that that phone cord was shorter so they can hear your conversation so you can go back in the laundry room. You know what I'm saying? I know what's up. I know what's up. And then we got pagers and we thought we were the shit. We were sending us text messages all the time. Boobless. That was our text. Boobless. 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 Booble. A booble. So let me get back to, thanks for triggering me, Deb. That just took me off 13 minutes. Hey, by the way, folks, StucciMedia.com. As long as we're throwing all this out there, and before I transition to We Are the World, namaste, let's take advantage of crises. You know, what do you need for media? What do you need? Do you need videos? You know, do you need your website updated? Do you want your SEO checked out? Do you need a website? Do you need reels? Anything you need, just talk to me, the Meatball. I got a company called, holy cow, Mobster Productions. I just had a brain fart. Where did my brain just go? Mobster Productions is my media company. It's a production company, and I do everything. I bring in a shit ton of experience, and I bring in real experience, and I'm not Mr. Technical. We get shit done, and we make it look sexy. So if you need anything, let a brother know. We'll take good care of you. So anyways, let's get back to it. What you saying? Yeah, those damn phone cords, man. And then they'll get all twisted up. All right. So We Are the World. Let me go back and let me ask again. What do you remember about the song? You know, when I say We Are the World, you know, what are the things that come up? What are the things that come up? Michael Jackson, Cyndi Lauper, you know, all the people, certain parts of the music video, the making of the music video. It was all super cool, right? I remember it. It was profound to me. The video was profound to me. All my favorite people were there. You know, I mean, Bob Dylan was there. Shit, man. How many people actually, every time when they think of the song We Are the World, actually think about the amount of people that were dying in Africa from AIDS? You know, we forget that part. And let me preface something real quick. I'm not taking away from any of that movement and any of that awareness. I'm not taking away from that. I have a point to what I'm saying. There's so many people that do so many good things for so many vulnerable people. So I don't want to give this perception that I think everybody sucks. Because then I'll say we suck, and we don't. We're awesome. We're like probably the best. You know what I'm saying? Deb, all that stuff got stolen. So Deb just asked me in the chat room if we're doing any of the tumblers. All this stuff, we've been robbed blind. Our storage was broken into twice. The second time they cleaned us out, it's tough for me to talk about because that was our whole life and we don't have anything. We're literally living out of our bags right now. I have what I have here. This is it for my studio. Studio got stolen. TVs got stolen. All of Rocky's Lure stuff got stolen. All of his bows got stolen. Everything of value got stolen. And then they went and got all of his UV material that he would put over the clear coat. And they poured it all over everything else that they left. And they did it to every unit. So, yeah, no, Deb. That's why I kind of came in this week angry, man, because I'm watching the fires, right? And so it's just like, it's still fresh with me. And I'm still not being able to process this, right? Because it's just like, I'm just sick of getting punched, right? I'm just sick of getting punched. You think of all these people over in Los Angeles right now that are looking at their entire existence that is ashes. And so, you know, I came on this week to start this show and I wanted to come in all fiery and fun. And it's just like, no, we need to really start addressing some things. And there's a lot of things I've discussed, that things that are bothering me on how we turn everything into a marketing opportunity. The vulnerabilities of people we turn into marketing opportunities. And I'm tired of this vicious world. And so when people experience tragedy, they become isolated. That's how the world really works. So on the surface, we're saying all the shit we have to say, and we're changing our profile pictures, and we're posting shit on social media. And I'm not kicking anybody down here, man. I'm just generalizing. But when it really comes time, you know what I'm saying? We care, but not more than we care for our personal needs, right? I don't even know if I'm saying that's bad or good. I'm just, you know, we all got to look out for our own shit, right? But this is difficult for me. And then I see media, instead of focusing on uniting and focusing on, you know, and I'm going to go back to something here on the unity part. Remind me if I don't, and reference Audrey as well. I see it, and I talked about it on the show just the other day. You know, they were talking about that reporter's jacket. You know, however he wanted to wear a jacket, whatever jacket he wanted to wear, however he put it on his, but that's what we were talking about. And one of the stories that I posted on StucciMedia.com this morning was about a family, about a disabled father who was a grandfather of 10 or 11, a whole bunch of kids. And some of them were dealing with disabilities, and a lot of them perished in the fire. And I was reading the last messages that this gentleman, this grandfather, was having with his daughter, you know, expressing to her how the fire was getting closer to the home. He was disabled. He didn't have help. Everybody else was gone, except some of the kids that were with him. This is one family. So there was multiple people that died in this fire, in this home recently. We'll hear about the story. I have it posted. I'll post it on Stucci Media as soon as I can figure out what's going on with my website, because it should be up. that entire family is going to be scarred for the rest of their life, and they're going to have this incredible journey to rebuild. They're going to have this incredible journey to suffer the loss of multiple people at one time while suffering the loss of every material object that they've had in their life gone. Going through the psychological trauma of thinking that this government is going to help them and realizing that they're pretty much on their own is going to be probably the hardest thing they're going to have to deal with. And that scares me because a lot of people are going to realize that all at the same time. That's the part that really scares me. We are sitting here now looking upon thousands of people, man, that are broken, and we won't address that. We'll do a couple stories, but there's going to be so this is why I was talking to Big Rich last night. I was explaining to him, this is why I have a hard time being that guy, because I don't want to give the perception that I'm sounding the violin, man. But holy cow, man, people get broken. And we live in such a crazy world, they feel like they need to shut down because we live in such an opinionated society, right? And they become broken even more. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't. And maybe I'm wrong on everything, and maybe I should be the one jumping back into that matrix, right? Maybe I should just be that guy, but I guess I choose to see it differently. Not differently, not uniquely, everybody, I guess I don't want to sit here and focus on whose fault it is right now. I don't want to sit here and focus on all the different theories. And I don't want to sit here and look at these hired professionals and elected officials all point the finger at a different direction, yet not one of them is talking about accountability, but everybody's really excited to talk about what they're going to replace it with. Do you see what I'm saying? So my life is upside down right now. I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm one person. And we have this entire country saturated with people like this, from North Carolina all the way to California, coast to coast. We have an entire country of broken people. And what are we going to do? Nothing. We have people in Hawaii still waiting for help. We have people in North Carolina that are still homeless, that got $700 check, that are fighting insurance claims right now because they're being denied. We have people in Hawaii that are still going through the same thing, that are still homeless, still trying to figure out how they're going to live, that lost everything and got minimal compensation for their loss. But we do hear about how excited those piece of shit politicians are excited to rebuild those smart fucking cities. It's interesting while we sit here and we see how many people are still devastated in North Carolina. We're seeing fracking trucks rolling into North Carolina to go grab those natural resources for those batteries. Don't give a shit about the people. It's all a game. It's all a game. And you realize how much they don't give a shit about you when your shit gets turned upside down. You realize how much they truly don't give a shit about you once it goes upside down. And we're going to play this game. So what we're going to talk about is smart cities. We're going to talk about creating cities where we can cage people like gerbils. That's where we're going to go in this world. This is where we're going to go on this planet. Whether we like it right now or not, it'll evolve into that. They will sit here and change the thought process in the educational system and in our marketing system, however they need to do it, to change the way we think. I mean, look at, we're not even reacting to UFOs. We're totally accepting the fact that little boys are having their penises cut off because now new science says that you can emotionally identify to whatever you want. So we will evolve into whatever they want, whether we want to resist right now or not. We're one person. And I'm actually glad that I brought that up in regards to wanting to talk about that song, We Are the World, because we transitioned. We talked about Deb and her anniversary. We talked about that old school mentality and how things were so different back then. And we've evolved all the way up to this point, and we really haven't even felt it because it happens in little increments. It happens in, what's up, Steph? It happens in little increments. And then before you know it, we're just consumed. You know, we're consumed. So what I was starting to say at the beginning of the show is I was bringing up the song We Are the World, and I asked people, what is it that you remember about We Are the World? You remember the song. You remember, I mean, we knew and we know what it was for, and we know that there was some great money that was raised. We know that. But what we remember of We Are the World isn't the amount of people that died of AIDS in Africa. It isn't anything statistical. It's not. Everything we remember about We Are the World is the song and all the people that we loved that were in it. That were in it. So, yeah, did they mean well? Absolutely, man. I'm not trying to say they're all there for marketing. But why I'm talking about this is because they already have a concert being organized in California. And I guess I'm sorry because I come from this business, man. So I know what's going on behind the scenes. I know what's going on behind the scenes. So when I hear like Taylor Swift has donated to the bus drivers and she donated to her entire crew, and when I hear these big rap stars donated to, they didn't do shit. Just like they don't write their own music. I know. They don't write their own music. They do what they're told. They do what they're told. Those checks that were given to bus drivers, that was from the PR people. That was saying you need to do this because we need to control the perception of the people. So when people hear that you gave them a Christmas bonus, even though you made incredible amounts of money and you gave them all, you know, enough to maybe go buy some Christmas presents, but they market that. So now we got this new thing. This fucking fire isn't even out yet. It's still growing in certain areas. And it's already dwindling. It's already losing its capacity in the media. It's already losing its capacity because, you know, there's more important things to talk about. But to those thousands of people, there is nothing more important to talk about. There is nothing more important to talk about to those thousands of people that lost everything. But what we're going to focus on is this concert now. And you're going to see everybody show up. You will see every single celebrity at that concert uniting. You will see some of the most miraculous unification you'll have ever witnessed in your life. Because it's not about the victims. It's not about the victims. It's about them and the opportunity to market off of people's tragedy. I never seen people show up to Miracle League. You know, there would be just the parents there to watch their kids play. But they would show up to all the events with the cameras. You know, they would show up to all the events that the cameras are at so they can get their selfies and they can get their interviews and they can get their promotional marketing material off of other people's tragedy. And if I've ever come off as that, man, I'm sorry, because I've never tried to market a tragedy in my life. I maybe tried to address things that I've experienced. And yeah, I remember I shared an image of a homeless guy, and right away somebody thought I was sitting there trying to, it's like, shut the fuck up, man. Shut up. If people could only practice half the integrity they preach, we'd have a pretty good damn planet. Yeah, so what they're doing is they're going to go create this big concert now, and it's going to be this big hoorah. And so when the concert's over, they have to pay for it. And that's something that a lot of people, they forget. They think that when they see these numbers that they raise, holy shit, $100 million. What I would really like to see after this concert that they do, and they got a name for it. It's supposed to be on Stucci Media, but it's not. I would like to actually see the expenditure. You know, I'd like to see how much exactly they spent and the incredible prices that they charge for certain things, because it's a money grab too. It is without a doubt a money grab. They will make a shit ton of money off of this. They'll make marketing money, advertising. Oh, all the advertisers will show up. They'll pay Super Bowl money for this. They will turn this into like a Super Bowl style event. That's how we show our compassion, by profiting off of people's misery. If a politician truly cared for this country, they would have no problem with term limits because that would be the best thing for the country. You know, if the politician truly cared for the American citizen, then they would be making decisions for the citizen and not the corporation. If the politician truly cared for the American citizen, they would be questioning every fucking pharmaceutical company on this planet. You know, if the politicians truly cared for the American citizen, they would be concerned what's happening at the southern border, not just by the invasion, but the inhumane behavior that has been happening down there. And it's been happening for years, and we pretend it don't. We pretend that Trump was inaccurate when he mentioned how many women get raped at the southern border, which is as accurate as it could get, or the amount of children being kidnapped. But so if we're going to go make music videos about We Are the World, and if we're going to go make music videos about, man, namaste, let's go get all the celebrities so we can get some cool video, why don't we actually fucking practice what we pretend to care about? You know? I mean, why don't you actually show up at the southern border? Why don't you actually go sit down? Oh, so, you know, now that we've had some celebrities lose some houses, so they were affected by it, so now we have to care. You know, just like when Prince died of overdose, all of a sudden, you know, pharmaceutical addiction was a problem. Weird. It took Prince to die for that to go public. Interesting. Got you. Got it. It's always about the celebrity because that is our bait. That is our bait. That's what they use as our hook. Who was it? Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays. Do research on him. He was the master. He has a book. I think they called it Propaganda. Agreed, Rocky. And if they cared, they would be doing. All right. So Steph made a comment in the YouTube channel. By the way, just go to the YouTube channel, look up Stucci Media, youtube.com/@Stucci Media. That is a huge deal, Steph. She said, agreed, Rocky. And if they cared, they would be doing illegal. They wouldn't be doing illegal stock trading. I said yesterday on the program, I was wondering where you were at, by the way. You weren't here. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I said on the program, how could somebody like Ocasio-Cortez, how could she literally, I mean, as broke as we are, I mean, I'm pretty broke right now, right? How could somebody who was like flat out face down in the mud broke, she literally couldn't afford a meal when she got elected into office. She couldn't afford an outfit. And just like that, she's worth like $27 million in 6 years. In 6 years, on a $140,000, $160,000 salary. So if they truly cared for the American people, they wouldn't take any additional money or insider training because the future of the United States is the most important thing, and that's why they ran for office. Right? Am I right or wrong? Good morning, Miss Mary Mansfield. Let's see here. Mary Mansfield said, it's never about the victims with these kind of things. It's about clout and influence and virtual singing. See, this is why we are who we are. This is why it was so important to bring the show back. It really was, because that's exactly right. And I get angry, and I'm just tired of being political about it. And so I just hope people really understand that I'm not conforming this show into the corporate level type of radio show. This is just us. We say what we want, when we want, how we want, anytime. It's not going to be for everybody. I promise you that. It's going to be real. I'm angry about it, man. I am. When I see, and I shouldn't be, and I'm sitting here debating with myself, should I be angry about them coming up with this big concert for the fire victims? Should I be? It's like, no, I shouldn't, but I should, because I know. I've been in this industry too long, man. I've been in it too damn long. I've been at too many events where I had to remind people, celebrities, on what event they were at. It's like, dude, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. You see that little kid over there in the wheelchair? That's why you're here, bro. I know it's about you, but, you know, I detest almost, man. That whole, it's a disgusting circle. It's very non-human. It's very non-human. And it's very gross. And so when I see that, and I lost my shit a little bit, and I thought I was wrong for getting upset about it, because I was like, no, I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be. I should be grateful for the fact that regardless of whatever marketing they're going to do and the millions that they're going to put in their own pocket, they're creating awareness. But then I'm like, no, because these people will never see any of that. They'll never see any of it. They'll show a video of maybe a family receiving some, just like they'll show the stuff in Africa where they'll see a kid get a bag of rice and be like, oh yeah, that's where our money's going. We're good. But how much of that money is actually going to go to the victims where they can say, oh, here's the check from that concert. The Hillary Clinton's foundation, she would donate money to her other foundations, and then those foundations would donate the money right back to the Clinton Foundation. And they just circulated their own money. And supposedly somewhere in there, they were helping people, somewhere in there. And we buy the bullshit. The reason I brought up Edward Bernays earlier is if you go and start researching some of his work and understand his book Propaganda, as a matter of fact, maybe we should even do a show on some of his campaigns that he did, in like women smoking. He is the one that incorporated women smoking cigarettes into public and how he did it. He did it by having a whole bunch of women show up at a parade in one of the, like Macy's Day Parade, I think it was. And they showed up as just regular women in their dresses, and they're walking down in the parade. And I don't know. And then he purposely planted his main media people in the crowd. Very specific people that were going to write articles in the ways that he wanted them written. And while they were marching down the parade, what these ladies did was they picked up their skirts and they grabbed a pack of cigarettes and they all lit up. Floored everybody, because back then, it was very unladylike to smoke in public. And so, everybody lost their shit. Well, what happens when everybody loses their shit? The same effect is what happened when Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem. That's exactly what happened when women started smoking during a parade. And guess what happened? All the women all over the country just started smoking cigarettes outside and not giving a shit anymore. And that's how you change the thought process of people. So that's why I'm bringing that up. Everything is a marketing campaign. So all of you, exactly 100% right. I mean, I absolutely agree with you. And so they're going to do it. They're going to do it. And it pisses me off. I can't get over it. So I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with them. A little disgruntled the fact that they're going to sit here and market. Why can't we just donate? And why can't we just get a couple celebrities and let's go hit the beat? Let's go boots on the ground. Hire me. I'll show up. I'll do it for free as long as I can pay my damn rent. You know what I'm saying? I will show up and I'll edit it. We will go interview all the people that are going through tragedies, and we will let them know all the struggles that they're going through and how hard that they're fighting just to try to get recovery. I think those are the stories that people need to hear. Not the stupid fucking concerts, not the Jennifer Lopez's. I don't give a shit about them. I really don't, because I know them, right? I know the mentality of that species of fucking human, and I don't want nothing to do with it. So I don't care about their ass. I don't care who they're marrying. I don't care how many divorces they had or what mansion they're going to fucking buy next week. I care about the family who has nothing and is getting no help for having nothing and trying to figure out a way to feed their fucking kids. That's who I'm worried about. How's that sound? I'm tired of this fantasy world, man. I'm tired of the Hunger Games bullshit. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted because I try to comply to that shit, just trying to be Mr. Respectful. And then what happens? We realize, without even realizing, that our entire life is completely censored. Think about our entire existence. I really encourage people to give me the most proper definition of freedom that we have in this country. Explain to me the definition of freedom in the United States. When you say freedom and you're pounding your chest, I want to know what that is. I want to know what you're referring to when you're pounding your chest, screaming that freedom. Because the more you analyze our freedom, you're going to realize that it's an empty box, man. It really isn't there. It really isn't there. Like I said, maybe my definition of freedom is a little old school. Maybe I need to update it. Maybe I need to do a computer update in my brain. And reprogram my definition of freedom, because my definition of freedom and what we have today that we pound our chest saying we're free isn't the same thing. Oh, Oh, Steph, geez, here you go. See, you guys are triggering me. That's why I love you. Stephanie said that she is sick of these evil people getting passes. Whew, okay. So this whole Hunter Biden thing, I lost my shit on. I'm really glad that I wasn't doing radio at the time, because I literally probably I've been arrested for some of the shit I said, honest to God. Because here we have the leader of our country who has a son who has had cocaine found in the White House, who has literally, I mean, his whole bullshit that he is the illegal bullshit in the Ukraine, in all the shit in China, in the big man bullshit, in the laptop. It's just like, and he gets away with it. And they go after him for lying on a gun application. Not as an illegal agent of the United States, because that's treason. That's death by hanging. No, they go after him for a gun application violation. And then his daddy, dipshit, pardons him. I'm sorry, I knew judges that used to buy cocaine by the ounce. I know judges that used to buy cocaine by the ounce while they were going on their stool and putting people in prison for people that are getting caught with a little bit of weed. That's the world we live in. And I could tell stories about Lockheed Martin. I could tell stories about all these celebrities that preach a lot of shit. They preach a lot of shit, man. But then all of a sudden the lights go out. Or you go through that different door and then it's like, oh, there you are. Oh, okay. So when we go out, that's the magical door. That's the magical door right there. So when you go out that magical door, then all of a sudden you're this person. And you're super likable. And you love everybody. And you got this great attitude. And you're super positive. And you preach scripture to me all the time. But it's okay when you come through that door back and hear that, okay, there you are. I see you. And there's way too much of that. And I get judged for coming onto this microphone, for being me 24/7. You get how you get the difference in the hypocrisy of the land of the free, in the land of the free. Hypocrisy abounds. I said Coke was either. What? I seen camel toe in there. Okay, where's Petey when I need him? And that's it. A lot of them are actors. We go and let's talk about January 6th. That's been the taboo subject. You shouldn't be talking about J6. When exactly are we going to start holding some of these politicians accountable for the misrepresentation and misleading of information towards their constituents and creating propaganda that goes against the best interests of our country? When are we going to sit here and start questioning some of the agents, the multitude of agents, because our politicians know how many FBI agents were in the crowd that day that were agitators. They were hired actors. They know, but they still allow the media to give us false and fake information. And then when we give the real information, we have these fact checkers out there that are going to fact check our ass and tell everybody that we're wrong. So what is the truth, man? Well, where is the truth? I don't even know. Because we have mainstream media giving us bullshit, who had fact checkers out there who was protecting the bullshit. So it's like anything I see anywhere, it's like, okay, is that a bot? They were saying that they were saying that they did a comparison. I think Joe Rogan was talking about this. They did a comparison where there was a husband and wife, and both they were pretty significant people, and they posted a video once. But what was different was on each timeline. So on the woman's Facebook page, when she would go look at the video, all the comments were different and from different people. And then when he went to his, there were comments there that were different from different people. It was the same post, but they were showing some people on some and some, and there were bots. That's what they learned. They were bots. So what they're doing is that they have these bots going and commenting and creating controversy and creating drama. It's just like they keep us stirred up, man. It's just like, I don't even know what to trust anymore. I don't even know what's real on social media anymore. I don't even know what content is legit, what post is legit. What video? I told Lisa, I said, the second all this UFO shit started happening, I said, watch, man. Watch how quick these videos are going to start showing up of all these people making these dumbass videos and being like, ooh, because they're getting paid. They're getting paid for those videos. I get paid from freaking Facebook. I get a monthly check from Facebook for my videos. They get paid for them. So they're going to go post shit that's going to be clickbait. So that is kind of the problem when you have the ability to make money off of video revenue, and people don't really know what the content is you have the ability to produce clickbait at an extreme level, especially on TikTok. That's why Facebook changed their standards years ago, because what people were doing was creating all these fake videos, clickbait videos, and they were getting all these views, man. They were getting all these views, and these views were not benefiting the advertisers. So they figured it out somehow. They figured out the game. And that's when YouTube made all these different restrictions. We got super mad. But, without the behavior control police, the animals come to the surface. So it's a catch fucking 20, man. It's a double-edged sword. It's you want to open up and do the whole freedom of speech thing. Well, there's consequences to that. It's just not going to be the good, honorable people that want to give good intellectual information, man. We got a whole bunch of freaking dark son of a bitches out there that just want to unleash, anonymous, that anonymous movement. I had a conversation about that last night. It's people are looking for something to gravitate to, whether it's real or whether it's fake. If it's accommodating them, then they're all in, man. They're all in. Pretty wild shit. It's pretty wild shit to say the least, man. Look over here, not over there. William. Who's William? Where did I see William? What up, bro? The hell with those millionaires in California. What about the people in North Carolina that are freezing and living? 100%, man. And so if you were to ask me, let's say I ran a media company, what would be the stories that I would do? Like, Stucci, we got to send some reporters out. What are we going to do? We're going to go talk to families. I wouldn't know what else to do. It bothers me. And William, if you weren't here earlier, I said, maybe I'm a little more sensitive towards it right now because I just recently suffered the same shit. But I don't think my view on this would have changed just because I don't like good people who bust their ass just to be broke, have their lives taken advantage of. And what really pissed me off is the amount of times I would sit there. You get sick and you go broke because all these medical expenses. I would be sitting there in the hospital and I would watch all these illegals come in and get priority. They'll come in the emergency room. They'll come in with their entire family with colds, little runny noses, because that's what they do. They don't set doctor's appointments. They just show up to the emergency room. And I would sit there with the fucking hernia coming out my ass. You know what I mean? I'm being sarcastic there, so don't picture that at all. But I would be sitting there in chronic pain and I would have to be put on a priority list and I would watch all these people who will never pay for that treatment in their entire fucking life. And I'm not supposed to get angry at that. I'm not supposed to get angry that I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to keep my power on while people are getting a check for coming here illegally and they're feeding. I'll go to Walmart and I'll see them walking around with 2 carts packed. And here's me with my phone fucking calculator. Can I afford another box of fucking rice? And I'm the one paying for that shit. And I'm not supposed to get angry? And you're not supposed to get angry about that shit? No, if people could really open their eyes up, people fear what they don't understand, they hate what they can't conquer. If we are really able to open our eyes, and I'm not talking to us, right? I'm saying as a nation, if we're truly able to open our eyes and see things for what they truly are, even in our own faults, just see things for what they truly are, we would be horrified. My detachment the last year and a half, because I know I have, it actually allowed me to see things differently because you separate from it and it allows you to process things differently. So there's a lot of ways that was a blessing for me. It makes you, it humbles you. It definitely humbles you. And it kind of makes what you see in the mirror sometimes a scary son of a bitch. But what you see in the mirror is all you got, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all you got. It's all we got. That's all we got. Oh, the hell, Rocky, you were, what? I wish the whole country was like that, man. I wish the whole country was. She says, my thing is Stephanie says, Steph Cuervo Queen says, the thing is, they allow these people to come into our country and force their customers. Steph, you're firing me up. All right, you fire me up. When you have a nation where we welcome in the whole world, there has to be a standard that they come into. Because if we eliminate that standard, the American standard, all the things you're supposed to learn to become an American citizen, and it takes like 10 years. It's a process. It should be a process. What we're doing is we're eliminating our standard, and we're trying to create new policies to accommodate to every fucking emotion from every corner of the world. Literally. So we're more focused on who takes a shit in what bathroom because this very small population of people emotionally feel that they should be able to shit in the opposite sex's bathroom because of feelings. So we make it a national conversation. We sit here and make identity a national conversation. And if we went to the black and white, if we went to the grit of the facts, there's only two fucking genders. And there always will be. And you can say you are whatever you want your mind. That's cool. But you have a penis or you have a vagina, right? But what we're doing is that we're creating new human species. And I don't even know what number we're up to. And with these new species of humans that we're creating is we have to find accommodations for these new species. I thought that whole fucking litter box shit in a bathroom at a school was a joke. And it wasn't. Because somebody identified as a cat, the school had to legally and obligate that students' needs and put a fucking litter box in the bathroom. I'm done with that game. I'm done. I will offend the shit out of you. I will make you hate me. I will. I'm not going to pretend that your child is a cat. And I'm not going to pretend that a 60-year-old man is an 8-year-old little girl wearing a diaper. I am done accommodating this illusional, psychotic, don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is, but it's stupid. And we sit here and we lose our identity as an individual because we're always trying to accommodate other people's bullshit. Guess what? You're going to accommodate me now. How's that? And that's what I expect all of you to say. Now it's time to meet us in the fucking middle. That's it. I don't give a shit. I'm pissing someone off. You know what I'm saying? Mary Mansfield, I grew up on Schoolhouse Rock, the great American melting pot. Not so much anymore. Isn't that something, man? And she says, you do not eat school food. You eat canned cat food. I used to love the pizza, though. I do remember the pizza. And I know it wasn't normal. I remember even in grade school, I remember the pizza never looked like pizza, but there was always something about it that was like cocaine to me. So it was like when it was pizza day, man, I had to prepare myself. Psychologically, I had to come out. I brought extra milk. I brought extra trading material because, we do some trades. We do some trades for the pieces of pizza. So anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'm just going to check the comments here. It's like Deb says that it's like allowing someone to come into your house, eat your food, redecorate your house, and change what you are watching on TV. And 100%. And then when you get mad, you're a piece of shit animal, and they're the oppressed, and they can do whatever they want to you and get away with it because they're the oppressed class, right? God, it drives me nuts. July 27th, in the hospital for 10 days, congestion, heart failure. Holy shit. His heart stopped. He stopped smoking. Good for you, bro. That's outstanding, man. So what William was saying is that he had a medical emergency. He was in the hospital for 10 days. If I'm getting this right, brother, dude, that is phenomenal. He sounds like he got everything taken care of. He quit smoking. He's doing things right. We support you, brother. Give us updates, please. Give us updates, and we will share them on the show. I remember, what's his name? Holy cow, Doug Stack. That dude did an incredible adventure of losing so much weight. It's like, if you've seen his before and afters, yeah, man, we got to make that stand out. We got to really, because I think sometimes just that little recognition It's not that we're trying to satisfy that little, oh, look at me. It's just we want to know we're going in the right direction. You know, it's not that we're looking for a pat on the back, but, you know, when we do something very big like that, man, there ain't nothing wrong with a friend saying, man, I'm fucking proud of you. And so, William, I am proud of you, bro. You keep it up. Good work, bro. And Deb, congratulations to you and hubby on, I got to scroll back up because that was such a big number. 38-year wedding anniversary. 38 years wedding anniversary for Deb. 38 years, man. That is wild. I just don't understand how you survived. How do you survive? I mean, any prison time at all? You know, any? How about him? I like to talk with him. I like to have a one-on-one interview on what was his tactics, you know, to be married to somebody who listens to the Rocci Stucci show. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, folks, the Rocci Stucci show, Monday through Friday, right here, 9 o'clock a.m. Central. Whoa. The Rocci Stucci show, right here, Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us here. Wow. I just realized that. It's Eastern. So it's 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern. That's wild as shit. So you can catch us right here Monday through Friday. Visit the website, StucciMedia.com, MyPillow.com. Use the code word meatball. And of course, if you need any kind of graphics work done, web design, SEO stuff, videos, reels, whatever you need, I am your guy for that, man. Just go to StucciMedia.com or send me an email at Rocky@StucciMedia.com. Rocky@StucciMedia.com. I love you guys. Tomorrow's Friday. Oh, tomorrow's Friday, man, so it's going to be a fun show. We'll talk about some fun stuff. I appreciate each and every one of you. Be here right here on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Stucci Media. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much for being here. From my family to yours, much love and much respect. Until next time, don't forget rule number 1. Don't take shit from nobody. Love you guys.